The world has lost some of its brightest stars in tragic plane and helicopter crashes, leaving behind legacies that continue to inspire. These individuals were more than just celebrities. They were icons who shaped music, film, sports, and culture in unforgettable ways. Their sudden departures shook the world, leaving fans in disbelief and sorrow. The impact they had on society is immeasurable, and their contributions will never be forgotten. Their deaths were not just losses to their industries, but to humanity as a whole, as they touched lives with their talent, passion, and dedication. Though they are gone, their influence lives on through the art, achievements, and memories they left behind. Their tragic deaths remain heartbreaking, reminding us of life's fragility. Today, we will be looking at celebrities who died in plane and helicopter crashes. Kobe Bryant was more than a basketball legend. He was an icon, a mentor, and an inspiration to millions. On January 26, 2020, the world stood still as news broke of his tragic death in a helicopter crash in Calabasas, California. Alongside him was his 13-year-old daughter, Gianna, and 7 others, all lost in an instant. Bryant's legacy extended far beyond the NBA, where his relentless drive and Mamba mentality defined greatness. His passing left an irreplaceable void in the hearts of his wife, Vanessa, and their children, as well as his countless fans worldwide. Grief swept through the sports community, with players, celebrities, and admirers mourning the loss of a man whose impact transcended basketball. His death was a stark reminder of life's fragility, leaving behind a bittersweet memory of brilliance forever etched in history. Aaliyah Dana Houghton was a radiant star whose life was tragically cut short at just 22. A gifted singer, actress, and model, she redefined R&B with her ethereal voice and effortless style. On August 25, 2001, after filming the music video for Rock the Boat in the Bahamas, Aaliyah and 8 others boarded a small plane. Overloaded and improperly balanced, it crashed moments after takeoff, killing everyone on board. Her sudden death devastated the music industry and shattered the hearts of her family, friends, and countless fans. Her parents were inconsolable, robbed of a daughter whose future shone brightly. Timbaland, Missy Elliott, and Damon Dash, her close collaborators and loved ones, struggled with immense grief. Aaliyah's absence remains deeply felt, a haunting reminder of a brilliant life extinguished too soon. John F. Kennedy Jr. was the golden heir to America's most famous political dynasty, a man of charm, intellect, and promise. The son of President John F. Kennedy, he grew up under the weight of expectation, yet carved his own path as a lawyer, journalist, and magazine publisher. His tragic death on July 16, 1999, in a plane crash off Martha's Vineyard shattered the nation. Piloting his Piper Saratoga, he lost control in poor visibility, plunging into the Atlantic with his wife, Carolyn Bessette Kennedy, and her sister, Lauren. The devastating loss echoed the Kennedy family's tragic history, leaving behind a void in American hearts. His loved ones, particularly his grieving mother-in-law and his uncle Ted Kennedy, mourned deeply. The nation wept, not just for him, but for the unfulfilled promise of a life extinguished too soon. Ronnie Van Zant, the legendary frontman of Lynyrd Skynyrd, was a force of Southern rock, his voice raw with passion, his lyrics drenched in truth. He lived fast, sang hard, and never feared destiny. But on October 20th, 1977, fate proved merciless. A plane carrying the band crashed in Mississippi, killing Van Zant instantly. The world lost not just a musician, but a storyteller, a rebel, a man whose words resonated with millions. His sudden death shattered his bandmates, his family, and his fans. His wife, Judy, was left with an unbearable void, while his young daughter would never truly know the father who had moved mountains with his music. The grief was suffocating. Lynyrd Skynyrd's fire dimmed, but his legacy roared on, his voice immortal, forever echoing through the chords of Free Bird and Simple Man. Ritchie Valens was a rising star whose life was tragically cut short at just 17. A pioneer of Chicano rock, his electrifying hit La Bamba made him a legend overnight. But on February 3rd, 1959, forever known as the day the music died, Valens boarded a small plane with Buddy Holly and J.P., the Big Bopper Richardson. The flight never made it to its destination. A brutal crash in an icy Iowa field stole their lives in an instant. For his family, the loss was shattering. His mother, Connie Valenzuela, never fully recovered, cherishing his memory through tears and heartbreak. Fans mourned the bright talent extinguished too soon, and the music world felt the weight of his absence. His death was more than a tragedy. It was a cruel reminder of how fleeting brilliance can be. Cara Lombard was a beacon of Hollywood's golden age, a dazzling actress whose wit and charm lit up the silver screen. Known for her sharp comedic timing and magnetic presence, she captivated audiences in classics like My Man Godfrey and To Be or Not to Be. But on January 16, 1942, her brilliance was extinguished in a tragic plane crash. Returning from a war bond tour, her flight struck a Nevada mountainside, killing all aboard. Her death sent shockwaves through Hollywood, but none felt the loss more than her husband, Clark Gable. Devastated, he spiraled into grief, enlisting in the Air Force to numb his pain. Friends and fans mourned a life cut too short, a spirit so vibrant, now silenced. Lombard's untimely end was more than a loss. It was a cruel reminder of fate's unforgiving hand. James Horner, the legendary composer behind timeless film scores like Titanic, Braveheart, and Avatar, left an indelible mark on the world of music. His genius breathed life into cinema, evoking emotions that transcended generations. But on June 22, 2015, tragedy struck. Horner, an avid pilot, perished when his single-engine plane crashed in California. The news sent shockwaves through Hollywood and beyond. His death was not just a loss to the film industry, but a devastating blow to those who loved him. Friends, colleagues, and fans mourned the silencing of a maestro whose melodies had touched countless hearts. His family, shattered, grieved the man behind the music, a father, a husband, a dreamer. In the silence left by his absence, his compositions remain, echoing the sorrow of a world robbed of his brilliance too soon. Melanie Thornton, the powerful voice behind La Bouche, captivated the world with her soulful vocals and radiant presence. Rising to fame in the 1990s, she left an indelible mark on Eurodance with hits like Be My Lover and Sweet Dreams. Yet, just as her solo career was flourishing, tragedy struck. On November 24, 2001, Thornton's life was cut short when Crossair Flight 3597 crashed near Zurich, Switzerland. She was only 34. Her death sent shockwaves through the music industry and shattered the hearts of those who loved her. Friends and family mourned not only the loss of a star, but of a woman whose warmth and passion defined her. Fans grieved, left with only echoes of her voice. Melanie's untimely passing remains a haunting reminder of how fragile brilliance can be. Gone too soon, but never forgotten. Joe Lara, best known for portraying Tarzan, The Epic Adventures, met a tragic end on May 29, 2021, when the small jet he was aboard crashed into a Tennessee lake. At just 58, his sudden passing left family, friends, and fans reeling. A charismatic actor and musician, Lara captivated audiences with his rugged charm and adventurous spirit. His death, alongside his wife, Gwen Shamblin Lara, and 5 others, devastated those who knew him. Loved ones grappled with immeasurable grief, mourning not only the man he was but the dreams left unfulfilled. The tragedy was a brutal reminder of life's fragility. For those closest to him, the loss remains an unhealed wound, a void impossible to fill. The world lost a talent, but his memory lingers, a bittersweet echo of what once was.